College athletes often start their careers outside of sports in or around the cities where they played their college ball. So in that respect, former Gonzaga point guard Winston Brooks is no different than many others.
But the career path he's chosen and the journey he's taken to get there are very different. Sports director Deis is back with this story.
You know, call it changing of the guard. Winston Brooks used to patrol the courts of the WCC, but now he patrols the streets of Coeur, a community that embraced him before he ever landed at Gonzaga, and he's happy to be given back. Winston Brooks spent 2 years as a point guard for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, playing on some of the most talented teams in school history. But before that, he spent a year here at Christensen Gym in Coeur d'Alene with the North Idaho College Cardinals.
You know, he was one of the best point guards we've ever had. You know, he was the coordinator out there. He ran the show.
But now, 7 years removed from his playing days, Brooks is back in Coeur d'Alene, and he's traded in his basketball shoes for a badge and a gun.
God, I never thought in a million years that I would become an officer.
You see, Brooks grew up in the projects of Richmond, Virginia, with a mother who struggled to provide for her 3 boys and where trouble seemed to lurk around every corner.
The cops weren't welcome in my neighborhood. So I always thought cops were, you know, bad people. You always think cops are bad people. And then when you actually get out, you know, you grow up a little bit, you mature a little bit, you get into the force like I did, and you kind of see the other side of it, and you see that cops are really there to help.
And help is what Brooks received when he arrived at NIC and was embraced like family.
You know, there's a lot of people here that took care of me, and I just felt like this was a nice place to be. It wasn't easy being away from family, but they kind of made it a little bit easier with the type of people that were here taking care of us.
People like longtime NIC trainer Randy Boswell.
You know, I saw the talent, I knew his history, and I asked him, I said, what do you want to do when basketball is over? He said, all I want to do is make enough money to get my mom out of the projects. I mean, how good is that?
Brooks did that, moving his mom and brothers to Spokane. And now he's given back to the community where he learned what family was all about.
And then when I come here to the streets, you know, working the streets for patrol, I interact with a lot of people. I make sure they're okay.
He stays very, very calm.
His superiors say his basketball background and his competitive streak help him on the streets.
I'm a strong believer in anything you've done outside that gives you stress is going to help you here, because if you've never been involved in a stressful environment, this is a difficult place to be.
He wants to go out, he wants to answer more calls than the other guys, he wants to write more tickets than the other guys, make more arrests. I mean, so that competitive spirit in him is, absolutely is a beneficial thing in this job.
But perhaps the way Officer Brooks sees the streets, like he saw the floor, is his most beneficial talent.
You got to see things, like if someone's moving over here, or if tabs expired, or someone's running, or, you got to see those things.
And after wearing a blue Zags uniform back in the day, Brooks still gets recognized in his new blue uniform.
People are looking at him like, where do I know that guy from?
Everywhere he goes, we go to dinner, we go to a call, we're downtown on Sherman, everybody knows him. And so it's kind of a running joke that, can you go anywhere? That is the paparazzi going to start following us too?
But Brooks says he doesn't mind a bit.
How it helps in a way is a lot of people will speak to me, and I speak to a lot of people. I walk and I speak, so they see me and they want to speak, and that's kind of loosening up that intensity or that hatred towards cops.
And he takes special pride in talking to kids, making sure they stay on the right track.
I think this is something that is just right for him, because he could have been on the other end of it.
So the kid from the rough streets of Richmond is now making the streets safer and friendlier in Coeur d'Alene. And that's bigger than any play he made during his days at Gonzaga, even if that's still the reason you recognize him.
Now, Officer Brooks says he loves his job, but perhaps the best thing about working for the Coeur d'Alene PD is he's able to stay close to both the NIC and the Gonzaga basketball programs, and those teams love it when he shows up.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah.
What a great story. It is so fun to see what they're doing now, and he's an inspiration.
Oh, most definitely.